Hey everybody, it's Saturday, April 13th. Beautiful day here in northern Nevada. Our laser is ready to roll, and that will be actually tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first event. Today was the school and so forth, so we didn't bother going up for that. So tomorrow we should have some video for you of the first event, and our GoPro camera is ready to go. Seems to work well. Car is ready, all set. I did actually change the alternator in it last night. The alternator that was in it hasn't been in it very long. About a year ago, the alternator failed in the car, and so we have two auto stores just down the road here from us, and one of them is an O'Reilly's and the other one is an AutoZone. So the O'Reilly's, which is where I usually go, did not have an alternator in stock, but the AutoZone did. So we got an AutoZone alternator for it, a lifetime guarantee, and put it in the car, and put a new belt on it at that time as well. And almost every morning when it was cold, you'd start the car up and the belt would squeal, and tension the belt. Next morning and do it again, and then it would stop for a while, and finally one day we started it up and it actually threw the belt right off the engine. So got another belt, put it on, it was fine for a few days, started doing the same thing again. So we got looking around, and the alternator, where the pulley goes on the alternator, you could see the rubber actually built up around it. And what it was, I suffice, is that when it was cold, the alternator was not turning freely for whatever reason. So took it off, took it back. You could hear noise in the bearings and stuff when it turned it, and they gave me another one. It was lifetime warranty. So I put it on. Now when there was fine. She drove the car for a while, didn't have problems, and the belt started squealing. So, tensioned the belt, couldn't find anything wrong, looked at it, everything was fine. And she got driving it 3 or 4 blocks from the house here one day, and it threw the belt off again. So, brought it back, couldn't find anything wrong with it, and put another belt on it, and it was fine again. Well, I started it here in the garage the other night, and I mean, unbelievable squeal, and smoke from under the hood and everything. So I shut it off, opened the hood, couldn't really see much of anything wrong. I mean, started it back up and it was fine. So took the alternator off, and once again you could see all the rubber built up around the end of the alternator, like it was shredding the belt. So I went to O'Reilly's and actually got an alternator for it. Put it on, put a new belt on. It's been fine. So I'm not real thrilled with, and I'm name names, I'm not real thrilled with the AutoZone brand alternators that I had on the car. Just not impressed at all. Never had any problem with the car until put that alternator on. Then it's just been a continual issue. So, and you know, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm the kind of guy, I don't mind fixing stuff, but I want to fix it one time and move on with something else. So, either way, anywho, the car is ready to go tomorrow. She's all set. So, we're looking forward to that, and me and Camera Girl will get you some video of that. But today, February 13th, was the spring auction. They have a spring auction and a fall auction locally here, and they sell vehicles, equipment, miscellaneous small stuff from the state of Nevada, Washoe County, Carson City, Lyon County, a bunch of the municipalities, the power company, the Regional Transportation Authority, buses and so forth. The last 2 auctions, the spring auction a year ago, and the fall. We actually, if you look back at my videos, there was some video that we took. We did go to that auction. Didn't buy anything at that one. The one last fall I didn't even go to because they didn't have much of anything. But the one today interested me, and the thing that interested me is they had about 40 of the Highway Patrol police interceptors. So we went to that this morning. Didn't take any video when I was there. I was just kind of walking around doing stuff and didn't even think to. But they one thing that was kind of cool is they had a confiscated Lamborghini Gallardo. I'm not sure what year it was, and the car actually wasn't even on premises. The car was impounded. Like I say, it was a drug confiscation, and the car was impounded here at the Washoe County facility. But they auctioned it off this morning at the auction site, and the car actually sold for $88,000. And there was some guy there, and they do internet bidding as well, simultaneous with the live bidding. And there was somebody on the internet that went up as far as 80. And that's actually. Then there was a guy there in the crowd. He just kept bidding it up, and he owned the car at the end. And they'll say 88,000. So that was kind of cool to watch. So we got going down through the line, and they got auctioning stuff off. They had a bunch of 2008s, some 2007s, some 2006s. They had a couple 2005s and 1 or 2 2003s. And the 2008s sold for a little bit more than what I wanted to spend for one. But the 2007s came down a little bit, and actually one of them went for less than a lot of the other ones, and we bought it, and we brought it home. Just a little background on the police interceptors. For the last several years, I've always had one to drive. They're a great driving car, great road car. Very comfortable. And for a big car, they average 20 to 24 miles to the gallon. And they command a ton of respect on the highway, which is kind of cool, especially the way that people drive around here, at least for that small moment in time around you when you're driving one of these vehicles. Everybody behaves themselves. So I haven't had one for about a year and a half. I sold the last one I had, 2006, just before I actually started making YouTube videos. Just before that, I sold that car. And I haven't had one since because the state, with budget considerations and so forth, they haven't had any cars to sell. They haven't been replacing them. They've been actually putting more miles on them than they used to. But today they cut loose a bunch of them. So the state's getting new vehicles of sort. They did get a few Dodge Chargers in 2008, 2009. And from what I can see, they weren't happy with those at all. So now they seem to be going to, they have GMC pickups, they have Ford F-150 pickups, and they're going with the Ford Explorers with the police package. So it seems like they're replacing a bunch of vehicles. They cut a bunch of them loose. And like I say, we've got one again. So, have you guys take a look at that. I'll show you, it's sitting right here. Alright, so here we go. It is a 2007 Ford P71 Police Interceptor. On the, of course, 2007, it has the 17-inch wheels. It has a tack in the dash, so forth. Nevada Highway Patrol always has dual spotlights on the car. And a Go Rhino push bumper on the front. Car is a 4.6 liter automatic. Basically, they wheel off the all the striping and badging, but the Adhesive does remain. We'll have to clean that off. They did get a little carried away with this one. I thought it almost looks like they used a razor blade and they cut through the clear coat in a few places, so we may very well have to do some paint touch-up on this. Not too bad. It doesn't have a bunch of holes in it. It's got 3 antennas, and there's a hole over there and a hole there for the light bar on the roof that was on it. Car is very, very straight, which is unusual. Usually they're, dinged up and everything. The Highway Patrol in Nevada, these are take-home vehicles. They get issued to one trooper when they're new, and that trooper typically will have the car for the life of its service. They used to retire these cars from service at 100,000 miles. They've since increased this, and they put between 105,000 and 120,000 is what I saw in the cars that were out there now. So this particular car has 110,000 on it. It appears to have been very well taken care of. You usually find them either one way or the other. Either the trooper that has them takes very good care of his car, or they're total piles of crap. But either way, they're usually fairly obvious. The other thing that they do when they remove these vehicles from service is some of these go into what's called the EVOC pool, and that's Emergency Vehicle Operation Course. They use them for training vehicles, and those vehicles actually get pretty severely abused. But there's a lot of telltale signs for EVOC cars. There was some there that they sold today. This is not one of them. So it's got good tires. The Nevada Highway Patrol. This time of the year, they use Goodyear Eagle Ultra Grip. It's basically a snow tire. They put them on all 4 positions of the car. The tires in this car are in very good shape. The interior is in good shape. There's not a lot of holes in the dash, which is a little different. A lot of times they have them. The biggest thing with these in the interior is the seats are usually ripped up pretty good here, but the seats in this are in good shape. The car does have carpeting, and it has a cloth bench seat. That's kind of cool. As far as I can see, everything works in the car. These cars are equipped with the power driver's seat. They have a remote in the door for the trunk loose. Of course, power windows, power door locks. The car does have cruise control, air conditioning, and this particular one actually does have an AM/FM CD player, which is unusual. Like I say, as far as I can tell, everything does function in the car, with the exception of the dome light. Dome lights in these cars do not work. The Nevada Highway Patrol has all of their cars as what they call dark cars. The body module computer for this car is flashed when they're new, and it cancels the dome light function. The light, does indeed work, but it does not come on with the doors. So it is in dark car mode. So if we want to actually have a dome light with this car, we'll have to take it to Ford and have it flashed. But it runs very, very well. I've driven it around some today, playing with it, and I'm actually pretty pleased with that. And it's 110. I actually put over 100 miles on it today, coming back from the auction, then going back out to the auction site, picking up my Jeep. One thing that's actually a little different with this car than it has been with cars I've had in the past. They did put it's got a full-size spare tire in the jack, and all that. Usually these are not in the cars. What they would do before is they would take the spares out, and for every 4 cars that they sent to auction, they would have a new set of tires for cars still in service. So, huge trunk. Put several bodies in here without a problem. Yeah, we're gonna need some new emblems. The emblem's a little funky on here. Of course, they removed that one. There's a DPS emblem that goes there. Cleaning these up is not too bad. I actually use a xylene chemical, and it dissolves the glue and adhesive. But like I say, this one here, for whatever reason, they got a little carried away with the razor blade in a few places. So this car runs good, very quiet, very smooth. These 4.6s, I believe, are 230 horsepower. I believe, if I'm correct, the last one I had, the 2006, was speed limited to 129 miles an hour. They go into fuel cut at that speed, and I'm assuming this one will be the same way. But the oil looks like it was just changed. Transmission fluid's clean. Battery's about a year old. Even the washer's all good. So, like I said, the state of Nevada, they take very good care of these cars. The maintenance is very stringent on it. Anytime that it needs anything, they get it. So, usually, I have never had a problem with any of these. Actually, the last one that I had was a 2006, like I said. I had that car for, I believe, over 2 years, and I put probably 20,000 miles on it. The only thing that I did to that car, other than oil changes and air filters and things like that, was I did put a set of tires on that one. And after 2 years and 20,000 miles, when I sold the car, I more than doubled my money on it. So these cars are a very good investment. And like I say, they're just a great car to drive. I'm actually pretty happy to have one again. Don't get me wrong, I love my Jeep, but I've been kind of missing not having one of the Crown Vic P71s. So we'll be bringing that in. That'll be our little project here in our free time, probably this week, is cleaning this up. And I think it'll clean up good, and by the time we get done, hopefully it'll be just like new money. So that's what's going on here. I actually even, we do have the autocross tomorrow with the laser. I've autocrossed Crown Vics before, and they actually go really well. It's a lot of fun. The last one that I had, all the emergency lights were still, I rehooked them all up. They take the controllers and stuff out of it. All the strobe lights and everything are still in these cars. They're in the backup lights, the tail lights, they're in the front marker lights. So basically all you got to do is get a control unit and rewire them, and they still function. So that's kind of fun. The last one we had when we autocrossed it, we turned the lights on and the lights would all flash and everything. People liked it. Just a fun thing. So I don't know if we'll get this one going or not. We'll see. But anyways, that's what we're up to. That's what we're doing. So tomorrow we are in the afternoon run group. So like I say, we'll be taking some video, and hopefully we'll get it posted before Mumble tomorrow night. I'm going to try to get it up and on YouTube. So that's basically what's going on here. Nothing else is new that I can think of. So hope everybody's having a good day, and looks like the weather is starting to improve around the country for a lot of folks, so that's a good thing. So I guess until tomorrow, everybody be good, be safe, and until then, take it easy.